Once, their lives seemed like fairy tales, lavish weddings, royal titles, and the promise of power beside Malaysia's former king. But today, his 3 ex-wives live far from the palace walls, carrying stories that refuse to stay hidden. From secret divorces to shocking revelations about betrayal, money, and even children, each woman has her own truth to tell. And now, years later, those secrets are finally coming to light. And so, while Malaysia's royal palace tries to project an image of tradition and strength, the voices of these 3 women refuse to be silenced. Each of them carries a story that reshaped not just their own destiny, but the legacy of the king himself. Their lives today prove one thing: even when royal marriages end, the secrets never truly disappear. To find out more, let's dive into Empire Elegance. When we talk about the private lives of kings and queens, we often imagine palaces, jewels, and fairy tale weddings. Yet, in Malaysia, the story of one king turned into something completely unexpected. The former king, Sultan Muhammad V, did not only shock the nation once, but many times, leaving people with questions that still do not have clear answers. And when it comes to his ex-wives, the secrets that they continue to share, even today, keep the entire world curious. What really happened behind the closed palace doors? And how did the man who was once Malaysia's most powerful royal suddenly step away from the throne? To understand the stories of his 3 ex-wives, we must first return to the dramatic moment in 2019, when Sultan Muhammad V did something no Malaysian monarch had ever done before. He abdicated, meaning he gave up his throne and stopped being king. This was history in the making, because Malaysia had been independent for more than 60 years, and not a single king had ever resigned from his role. So why would Sultan Muhammad V choose to walk away from such a powerful and respected position? Was it truly because of his health, as some suggested? Or was there another reason that people were not allowed to know? The story of Oksana Vojvodina and Sultan Muhammad V remains one of Malaysia's most unusual royal chapters. While the nation was told that their king was on medical leave in late 2018, photographs began circulating of him in Moscow with Oksana, a former Miss Moscow. Soon after, images appeared of the pair in wedding attire, fueling speculation that the Malaysian monarch had secretly married a foreign beauty queen. The palace refused to confirm or deny the marriage, but the rumors gained strength. By January 6, 2019, the announcement came that Sultan Muhammad V had abdicated, becoming the first Malaysian king ever to step down mid-reign. Only weeks later, Sultan Abdullah of Pahang was installed as Malaysia's 16th king. While the country adjusted to its new ruler, attention turned to Oksana. For a brief period, Oksana presented herself publicly as a devoted wife, and later as a mother. She shared posts describing how the Sultan cared for her during her pregnancy. And in 2019, she gave birth to their son, Tengku Ismail Leon Petra. The boy's arrival carried significance, as he could one day have claims within Kelantan's royal line. Online, Oksana portrayed her life as charmed and filled with love. Behind the images, however, trouble was growing. Reports surfaced that Sultan Muhammad V divorced Oksana using triple talaq. Even more shocking, she claimed she discovered this not from him, but from the internet. Within months of their fairy tale wedding, their marriage had collapsed. Oksana later described incidents that strained the relationship. Just 2 days after their wedding, she said she answered her husband's phone and was screamed at by a woman claiming to be his wife. The woman, identified as a Czech named Diana Petra, later even contacted Oksana's father. Although the Sultan dismissed the matter, doubt lingered. At the same time, old footage from a Russian reality show featuring Oksana resurfaced, fueling criticism in conservative Malaysian society. After the divorce, disputes erupted over child support and settlement demands. Reports claimed Oksana asked for luxury homes in Moscow and London, as well as a large monthly allowance for her son. The Sultan allegedly rejected these requests, and the Kelantan Palace later denied Leon's paternity, refusing DNA testing. Oksana, however, continues to insist the boy is the rightful heir. Today, Oksana lives primarily in Moscow with her son. She posts regularly on social media, where she presents herself as both mother and lifestyle influencer. She shares updates about Leon, speaks about parenting, and promotes wellness and beauty products. Her life now is centered less on royal titles and more on raising her child while maintaining her public image online. Though the marriage ended quickly, Oksana has carved out a new role for herself. She remains a figure of fascination, not just for her short time as the wife of a king, but also for how she has navigated life afterward, balancing motherhood, public scrutiny, and a continuing dispute over her son's place in Malaysia's royal story. As the divorce became public, the story grew even darker. Oksana may have been the most visible of Sultan Muhammad V's wives, but she was not the only one. Yet less is known about the women who came before and after her, the women whose lives were deeply intertwined with the Kelantan throne. Two names stand out most clearly: Tengku Zubaida binti Tengku Noruddin, also known as Kangsadal Pipit Pakdi of Patani, and Sultana Nurdiana Petra Abdullah, born as Jana Jakubkova from the Czech Republic. Their stories reflect not only the personal history of the Sultan, but also the hidden world of palace politics, tradition, and silence. Now let's talk about Tengku Zubaida. Tengku Zubaida, the first known marriage of Sultan Muhammad V, took place on the 15th of November, 2004, when he was still the crown prince. His bride was Tengku Zubaida binti Tengku Noruddin, a princess from the royal family of Patani, southern Thailand. Born in 1979 at the Jering Royal Palace in Patani, Tengku Zubaida grew up in a household steeped in Malay Thai nobility. She was the daughter of Tengku Noruddin bin Tengku Muda Abdul Putra, also known as Wairot Fifit Fakdi, a five-term Thai member of parliament, and Yawalak Fifit Fakdi, a woman of Malay-Chinese heritage. The Patani royal family, once sovereign before being absorbed into Thailand in the early 20th century, maintains strong cultural and blood ties to the Kelantan royal family across the border. Her marriage to the future sultan was both dynastic and symbolic, linking two noble Malay Muslim houses. Upon their union, she was styled Tengku Ampuan Mahkota of Kelantan, effectively the crown princess, educated at Mahidol University in Bangkok with a degree in science. She was well prepared for the duties of royal life. However, the marriage quietly ended in 2008, only 4 years later. Details were never fully disclosed, in keeping with palace discretion. What is known is that after the divorce, Tengku Zubaida lost her title and the privileges of her former royal position. Reports in later years suggested that she eventually passed away, though information about the circumstances of her death remains sparse and unconfirmed by official sources. Her story, brief and tragic, remains a footnote in Kelantan's royal history. Unlike others, she never spoke publicly about her marriage or its dissolution. Silence became her legacy. The Sultan's second significant marriage took place on the 30th of October 2010, this time far from the royal networks of Southeast Asia. His bride was Jana Jakubkova, a woman from Prague in the Czech Republic, of non-royal European descent. Before her marriage, Jana converted to Islam and adopted the name Nurdiana Petra Abdullah. For years, her presence remained largely hidden from public life. While she held the style Cepuan, meaning lady, she did not feature prominently in media or public ceremonies. The situation became even more unusual when Sultan Muhammad V was elected Malaysia's Yang di-Pertuan Agong in 2016. Tradition dictated that his consort would be styled as Raja Permaisuri Agong, the Queen of Malaysia, yet he ascended the throne without a consort, making him the first king in Malaysian history to reign without a queen at his side. This fueled speculation that his wife's European origins or other palace considerations may have influenced the decision to keep her role private. For almost a decade, Diana Petra remained in the background. Everything changed on the 2nd of August 2022, when Sultan Muhammad V formally proclaimed her as Sultana of Kelantan with the honorific Her Royal Highness Sultana Nur Diana Petra Abdullah. Her first official appearance came a month later when she hosted members of the Pertubuhan Kerabat Diraja Kelantan at the Kubang Karian State Palace. Since then, she has stepped into the role with visible dedication. She regularly accompanies the Sultan to ceremonies, charitable events, cultural gatherings, and state dinners. In 2023, she attended the ASEAN Traditional Textile Symposium, joined other royal consorts at Istana Negara, and participated in Kelantan's Flora Festival, where a hybrid orchid was named in her honor, Vandacho Stylus, Sultana Nur Diana Petra. In 2024 and 2025, her activities expanded further. She supported educational initiatives, hosted foreign dignitaries including Malaysia's King and Queen, met with Thai royalty, and engaged in welfare projects for orphans and the poor. She also traveled abroad, representing Kelantan at the Royal Ascot in the United Kingdom, where she met Prince Edward and Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh. Today, Sultana Nur Diana Petra is firmly established as the public face of Kelantan's royal household, fulfilling the duties of a consort with grace and consistency. Yet even as Diana Petra's role grows, questions about the past remain unanswered. The Kelantan Palace, like many royal institutions, operates under strict secrecy. Other ex-wives, unlike Oksana, have remained completely quiet. But why? Insiders whisper about royal gag orders, financial settlements, and family pressures strong enough to silence any public complaints. Could it be that these women were bound not only by tradition, but also by law and wealth, locked in agreements that the public will never see? More intriguing are the rumors of internal family tensions. Some say disputes about property, inheritance, and even the child Leon, Oksana's son, have stirred conflict within the royal court. Others suggest that Sultan Muhammad V's abdication as Malaysia's king in January 2019 was not solely about love, but also about power, scandal, and competing family interests. The palace has never given clear answers. Officials repeat that matters of the royal household are private, and Sultan Muhammad V himself has remained largely silent, appearing rarely in public. A deeper web of secrets. The silence of the Kelantan Palace is itself a story. Oksana's voice may dominate headlines, but she is only one piece of a larger puzzle. Tengku Zubaida lived and died quietly, while Sultana Nur Diana Petra now walks beside the Sultan as his recognized queen. Why have they remained silent as Oksana continues to speak? In Kelantan, secrecy prevails. Those close to power reveal little, and those who leave rarely tell all. These women's lives reflect the fragile balance between tradition, duty, love, and truth. Sometimes, what is unsaid matters far more than what is revealed. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe to Empire Elegance and hit the notification bell for more powerful stories about the lives and legacies of the world's most influential figures. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in our next video.